Okay, 5 minutes. Well, it is the first time I'm making one of my posts at night. As you can tell, I can see the ring light that I'm trying to use in my glasses, and that looks weird. I'll try to turn my face a little bit so you don't see it. But, anyways, it was pretty late, already dark out, and I was like, well, I guess I've missed my chance to make my post today, so I won't make it. And then I felt like, no, uh, don't do that. I gotta, I gotta follow through. I said I was gonna make a post every day, and you know what? I messed up. I waited too long. Now the good light's gone, and I gotta be in this with this bad lighting and my weird ring light. But we got to do it anyways. So, something in my eye. So, let's see. I'm going to finish what I was talking about yesterday. I've been looking at used cars here, and most of the cars that I'm looking at are pretty old. And, I feel this kind of like anxiety about, a really old car. I don't want to spend a lot of money on a car, and yet the older you get and the cheaper you get, the more likelihood that there are issues, or maybe it's just not that safe, and I probably need something really. I need to be safe. It would be a really bad thing to have a car fall apart on me. So that's been kind of on my mind, but I think the most interesting thing that I thought about that I wanted to share yesterday, but I ran out of time, was how, you know, now I'm an adult, super adult, very beyond adult. Some might say the most adult. When I was 18, I got my second car. And that car at that time, I think we bought it used. It was a used Saturn. I forget what they call them. It was this like really common Saturn 4-door coupe, maroon color. They were everywhere at the time because it was a really cheap car. And I got mine used cheap. It was 4,000 US at the time, which, let's see, I think I must have got that in 1996, and it was a 1992, 3, 4, 5, 6, so it was 4 years old. So that was a pretty good deal. And that was the nicest, newest car I had ever. I mean, I only had one car before that, but damn, I'm already running out of time. This 5 minute barrier isn't much, but whatever. Let me try to make my point really quick. It is that when I was 18, I would have spent all the money that I had in my bank account, which probably wasn't even $4,000 at that time. I probably had less than $1,000 to my name, maybe way less than that, because at that time I had to take a loan for that $4,000 out, a loan for $4,000, and make payments. And it's funny that now, um, you know, I have $4,000 to my name, but I would never, I would never spend all my money on a car. Anyways, I just thought it was interesting how the there's some good things about that, right? Like, I could say that I feel a lot more responsible about my money, like more careful. I'm not going to spend all my money on something like a car because I'm thinking about so many other things, like, well, I got to make sure that I can pay my rent, and I want to make sure that if anything happens with work, that I have some savings. I would never just spend it all. But at the same time, it's interesting how less free and how less fun and joyful the whole process is. When I was 18, it's just like, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, who cares? Just get the thing that I want. So what if it's all the money that I have and more? Just get the car and it's going to be great. And, you know, whether or not that's like a good way of doing things, there are probably way more people, including me, that would say that's a bad way to do things. My kitty is no kitty. Great. But, and my 5 minutes is over. Gosh, I cannot get to a point. That's what's so good about this 5 minute constraint. It's like, how do I get to my point and work on and practice spitting it out? Oh, man, it's difficult and a lot of work. I don't think that I made a point. Something about how it's really nice to have that just YOLO free attitude when you're 18. Money doesn't matter. Freedom, fun, joy, that's what matters, really. And contrast with now how difficult it is to have that mindset. Now it's just like, man, I have so much more anxiety and fear about like spending money on things like that, or anything actually. And there's got to be some middle ground, and that's something that I think about, and I'm trying to figure out a way to get back there to that state of mind. Maybe not complete YOLO 18, but somewhere in the middle. So there's not so much fear and not so much scarcity mindset, and a bit more just like fun, freedom, not so worried about, things not working out in the future. Way over my time, but I think I made my point. Thanks for listening. Happy Monday.